Hello, my name is Ryan Trujillo, and this is another bass lesson video. In this video, I'm going to be continuing my Music Fundamentals series and elaborating more on scales. Okay? So, when I practice my scales, and really when I use my scales at all, I use a 3-shape system. Okay? So every scale I play, I'm always thinking of myself using one of 3 shapes. I've seen guitar method books that teach 5, 6, 7, 8, or more. I just think of it as 3, and I pay attention to which finger I'm currently on at any given moment. The 3 shapes are determined by which finger you place the root on. So the first shape I'm going to show you is starting with the root on your middle finger. I'm going to be doing everything in D just to avoid open strings so that I can teach you the concept. But really this is something that you can move to anywhere on the fingerboard. But okay, so I have D my root, ascending all the way up to D. And if I wanted to continue descending from the root, I can go all the way down to the 4th down there. So, okay, that's the first shape. Now the second shape I start on my pointer finger. Now this one's wider. The first 2 whole steps of the major scale are instead these big wide whole steps between your pointer and middle finger, and then middle and pinky finger. But, okay, continuing all the way up, starting on D. And if I wanted to keep going, I've got my 2nd up there. And if I wanted to continue descending, I can get down to the 5th underneath. Okay? And then my last scale shape is starting with my pinky on the root. So, pinky on D, ascending, I have. And this one doesn't actually end me on the root. I can't get all the way up. Unless I were to start it on my low E string. And then descending further past the root, down to the 3rd. Okay? So those are the 3 shapes I use. Now, to start off, really I just practiced. I would start, like let's say I was approaching this scale for the very first time, I would take one fingering, maybe the middle finger one first, and I would just practice ascending, descending in thirds. You know, all the myriad of different ways that they exist to practice your scales, in fourths, etc., etc. But I already taught that scale shape in my previous lesson. Now moving on, I would repeat all the same work, starting from my pinky, which is usually the weakest finger, so you kind of got to iron these things out. Now, let's say we want to ascend up the fingerboard. I'm going to use the scale shape where I start with my middle finger on the root. Okay, and now I'm going to change the fingering so that I can shift up the neck a little bit. I'm going to go scale degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now instead of going to scale degree 6 on my pointer finger on the 4th fret of the G string, I'm going to take that same note, which can also be found on the 9th fret, a whole step above my 5th. I'm going to shift, but on my same pointer finger, up to there, which then means I'm still in the scale shape. Okay? Now let's say, oh wow, I'm with the root on my pinky. If I want to continue going up, I can pull that part of the scale shape and keep ascending. Or if I want to descend, pinky's on the root, which happens to be the same as middle finger on the root when I hit the low root. Okay, now another example of using this to come up with a way of shifting the major scale. We're going to play in G major now, and we're going to get from G on the low E string, the 3rd fret, and we're going to get all the way up to G on the 12th fret of the G string. So I'm going to start using the root on the pointer finger shape with the big whole steps at the beginning. Now instead of shifting up the pointer finger for the 4th, I'm going to place that right here on my pointer finger. Now I'll just finish the shape normally, which then puts me with my middle finger on the root, so I could play that shape. Look at that, I made it up 2 octaves. Super easily. You are always in one of these 3 fingerings at all times if you're playing the major scale. Yeah, I really, really recommend this as a practice tool for any bass player that's trying to demystify all of this. But okay, I hope these concepts help. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. I really, really appreciate hearing from you guys. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm helping someone out, and that's really the goal with this. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 all that YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.